The goal of every single leftist content creator should be for their audience to outgrow their content. See, I've noticed a serious strategic blunder that a lot of people on the left are making when it comes to online content creators. They are failing to realize that some of us are trying to construct an alt-left pipeline. Now, we all understand how the alt-right pipeline worked and how it radicalized an entire generation of people into right-wing ideology. We don't have that on the left because we don't have billions of dollars to throw at misinformation. What we do have are tons of smart, talented people trying to make their content more accessible to people who would typically think that leftists are crazy and weird. Let me give you a visual aid. Okay, so this is you. You are Vladimir Lenin's strongest soldier. You know everything there is to know about the immortal science of Marxism-Leninism. But you didn't start out here, right? You started out somewhere up here. And the only way that you made it down here is because somebody was patient and kind enough to tell you how this all worked. Now, the interesting thing is, as you were moving down this pipeline, you probably thought that each level you were at was the one that you'd stay at. And then you got a little bit more radicalized and a little bit more radicalized. And then once again, you ended up at the spot that you thought was most important. Now, remember, all of these other people that we're trying to attract are still somewhere in this pipeline. Maybe they haven't even fallen into it yet. So we're making content that brings them down this process. Now, when you were just a DSA member or a progressive, or maybe you just called yourself a centrist and you thought that was the proper end to your political journey, what you didn't have was the humility to realize that your political journey wasn't over yet and you had further down to go. Someone was patient enough to show you the way. And now you're right here, probably thinking that there is no further for you to go down. That may be the case, but remember, that's also what you thought when you were up here. So if you notice that certain leftist content creators aren't explicitly coding their videos leftist and are actually willing to use more accessible language that feels liberal or even conservative, ask yourself whether or not this might be an intentional technique to make leftist ideas more accessible to normal people. People who have been convinced by years and years of deliberate propaganda to believe that anything that even smells of socialism is evil and condemnable. Because frankly, it looks really dumb when every leftist content creator's comment section becomes a war of different types of leftists talking about how their type of leftism is better than the other. Remember, the left is always looking for traitors, but the right is always looking for converts. We should learn from them.